CoCoTALK is an unscripted live broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own and not necessarily those of the CoCoTALK show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds encouraged, sense of humor recommended. If any off-color comments were made, we're sorry.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS 80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
This is CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color computer. It's time to drop your socks and grab your real-time clocks, and let's rock.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world. CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
And we are live, hopefully this time.
Delays, guys.
Good afternoon, everybody. Who's excited to have a great show today?
I am.
Yay!
Hoorah!
It's
The dumpster fire. Yay! I look
all right.
good.
David Ladd's not here, but I am so excited for today's show.
I think you borrowed some of his drugs.
Can we have a commercial
what you
break
really
right
think.
now? Can we have a commercial break right now?
Already?
I'm too excited.
Yes, I
We
think
asked you if you had to go before we left.
Yes, Ron.
I'm excited about the show.
Well, since you're
like
so
a
excited,
puppy
Ron,
about having an accident, right?
Yeah.
The show brought to you by Depends.
so Ron Del
Oh, we gotta
tell
get-
us why you're so excited.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Tandy Assembly.
Yes, today is Tandy Assembly. We're really excited. We got the whole panel here. We've got Ron Delvaux from around the corner. I'm waving to you from outside my window, Ron.
I see
Hope you're
you.
David Ladd,
And-
maybe give us a
Looking up
proper excited intro.
The man, the producer, the man behind the boards is Mark B. How you doing, Mark?
Ah, having a panic
Better.
attack.
Got it
Well, it all-
though.
It all worked out. Then we can see the main screen. We probably can hide that from the Zoom out there. We
probably
talked
so.
to. We'll talk to Ron. We talked to Ron a little bit. I see audio spectrum analyzer there in the background. And dipping his head underneath the desk, our Apple guy, Mark D. Overhoser.
Hey there.
doing, Mark?
Sorry, dropped my paperwork. I'm here.
I thought you were working on where you put your 6502s, which almost always go on the floor, right? So your 6809s
Yes.
have room.
Have priority on the desk. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I thought.
Or dining room.
Yep.
And next to him, the man who told us what TDP stands for, Tandy Data Products, Terry Steege. How are you?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today?
See it, Terry.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see
Terry,
you too, Terry.
Have we discovered any new Tandy Data products?
No, I
Since-
did. Well, that's a lie. I did find a coax splitter that was a TDP, so I thought that was kind of crazy. I wasn't paying $40 for it, but I did see it.
You got pictures of it, right?
Yeah, it was on eBay of all places, but I'm
Good enough.
not paying for that.
eBay overpriced. Hard to believe.
Just a little, yeah.
Okay, we'll just go kind of randomly out of order here, but I see the man that we have named 3 times the man who's so nice, we had to name him thrice. Nick Marotta. How are you?
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Any projects you're working on or any particular game that you played in the last week? Or I know you're always buying new color computers.
Well, I don't know if we're going to talk acquisitions right now, but I did get an MC10, so I'm very happy about that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Well,
Wait, let me try again. I'm very happy about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I think we'll save all the acquisition stuff for afterwards because it looks like Jason's arm's getting tired from all
Yeah,
that.
I've got more.
okay.
I wasn't going to talk much now.
We'll move along, and who wants to talk about the MC10? But we'll come back to that. John from Apple, how are you doing?
Is that me you're talking to?
I think so. Yeah,
John.
You
John Laurie.
work for Apple. John Laurie.
I do. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
John, and you're named after a vehicle in England?
No, I don't think so.
So you're the one we get to blame?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm of Italian heritage. Luria was the original name, but it got Americanized somewhere down the line. And I wanted to be out there at Tandy Assembly, but had some surgery recently, and driving is not one of my things I'm allowed to do right now, so had to skip out on Tandy Assembly this year.
Okay, and I was
accelerator foot isn't working, huh?
What's that?
Your accelerator foot is not working.
Yeah, no, actually, had some pretty major surgery, and can't steer because
Should we be glad you're here then?
Yeah, August 31st, I nearly reduced the community by one.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and spent the next 19 days in the hospital. Let's see, about 18 days ago, I had open heart surgery, basically.
Oh, yeah, wow. I've had that. It's fun.
Yeah. It's definitely don't recommend it. It feels like someone parked a truck on your chest when you get done. And but I'm doing real well. I bounced back from the surgery pretty quickly, and took about over a half-mile walk today, and just working on my rehab, and just trying to get better.
Good. Cool. Right.
Get well soon.
Thanks for joining us. And then Jason, I want to talk to you because your arm, it does look like it's getting tired, but I was going to save you for last. But how are you doing, Coco Man?
Oh, we can come back to me. I'm not, it's not an opening of a new Radio Shack, although there is a Radio Shack sign here.
All right. Well, we'll swing right back if your arm's doing okay. I'll talk to Richard Lorbieski, Voice on Tech, the man with 1,000 products, and there's probably more that you're releasing today. How you
and
doing,
all of
Richard?
them are on fire.
I'm speechless. Thousands of products. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that.
It's just marketing.
Yes,
it doesn't have to be true.
I know. Yeah.
Do you have it?
Oh, go ahead.
You're doing okay. You're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I would do better once I get off this show, but
Well, we'll come back to you and talk about all those thousands of products. Grant Leedy, how are you doing out there? Somewhere, Grant is always streaming, as we know. Grant?
Hey, how's it
Do you
going,
copy?
guys? Yeah, same here. How you guys doing today?
We're all
doing well.
Really good.
Yeah.
By the way, Richard, I got a root beer. You need one?
yes. I got a carpet right here in front of me.
Brought to you by ShamWow.
Yeah.
And David O'Connor, Down Under, what have you brought for it to show today?
I haven't got any Radio Shack acquisitions as such this week, but I do have a brand new video conferencing system I'll talk about a little bit because it's being used for the show.
All right.
It's pretty exciting.
Sounds good.
Come back to you and talk about that. I do see the man who always has more energy than the entire panel combined, the Lord of the Floppy, Mr. David Lapp.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's ready because I'm wired and ready. Oh, I see a whole bunch of smiles now.
Yeah, I feel better. I feel better already.
I
Thank you, David.
David, you got to switch to decaf. Seriously.
Oh, hell no. I love the caffeine. It perks me right up.
Now
What drugs
we're
are
ready
you
to
taking?
handle this show.
That wasn't a smile. That was a wince in my part, just so you know.
David, what drugs are you taking? I need some.
You know, this shows the only proves that when a dumpster fire happens, that the fire department has to call in a second alarm.
True.
Well, I'll have what David Ladd's having. I could use a little boost.
Or they run the other way.
Speaking of somebody who never runs out of energy, Jason, the Coco Man Reichert, is live at Tandy Assembly reporting for CoCoTALK.
That's
Jason?
right. That's right. That's right, Rob. I'm here at Tandy Assembly. I'm here in Springfield, Ohio. We're at the Clark County Historical Society Museum today, and it says VCF, but that's not it. I'm not at VCF, I swear. The rumors of me being at VCF are greatly exaggerated. Oh, we have an announcement here.
Doing a presentation at 2:30. It's about 15 minutes.
Okay, so we have another keynote speaker at 2:30. But since I'm here, is there anything else going on this weekend, or is it just
I see the Radio Shack sign there. Is the Radio Shack?
Let me flip around here.
Keller, Texas, actually there?
That's a pretty fancy sign.
It's a pretty fancy sign here. We can get here and closer on it, and I'm not sure whose this is, but it looks like it had been a historic issue. I can see the screw holes and whatnot.
Like
it's really cool, though.
Like they ripped it off some building somewhere.
Looks like it came out of a mall.
Yeah, that's what
I wouldn't say ripped, but I can see there's a bunch of the.
Yeah, they use neon inside to light them up.
Okay. You would know, Ron.
More recently, they use LEDs now.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Oh, well, the most important part here in this is the main room here where we have the vendors. Yes, we have we have coffee. We have some water. We have some soft drinks. Your soda or your pop, whatever you choose. You can have either or both. And we have some leftover from the some bagels and some muffins left over from breakfast.
Oh, those are only bagels. I thought they were donuts. Never mind.
The donuts have gone bad. And then we have our little impromptu announcement system there. But if I move over here and I kind of start down here, I'll just start down on this end since I'm down on this end already.
Is Fletcher there?
I did not see Fletcher here. But I do see some of these Tandy 102s and 100s down here.
Yeah.
And
I even saw the disk drive and video interface there. That monitor would have been a Model 100, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's the disk drive. I've seen
the big one
before.
beside that. The one on the right.
That is. Yeah, let's see what this. Yeah, that's the disk video interface. Yeah.
Yep. So that monitor is actually showing what the Model 100 is doing.
Yeah, the service. This is the. Welcome to Tandy Assembly. This is the DVI disk video interface. 80 column text on composite video. Yeah, so that's really cool. That's really cool. Yep. Absolutely. Looks like we have some Model 100, 102 repair going on here. Yep.
I thought they really never break down, do they?
Working on my Model 102.
Oh, we got Brendan Donahue here. He's having some Model 102 repair getting done.
That's right. Yeah, this one.
Memory battery out.
That's right. Got to remove the dreaded memory battery, and then
this guy, you can see he's just starting to leak.
Oh, look at that! We got a leaky battery here. A leaky battery.
Yeah. Well, this one's just starting to do it right there. Just starting to get some corrosion. So
I got some just in time.
Just in time. That's your breaking news. Brendan Donahue had an almost leaky battery. Breaking news.
Now we're just waiting for the
wake the kids. Let them know.
Wait, was Grant there?
Grant is not here. Well, Grant's on the call. That's awesome. That's good stuff. Let me go ahead and I'll get past Brendan here, and we'll move down. And what do we got here? We have a
Model 3 discless.
Got a Model 3 that's kind of sideways.
You got the new tube in? Someone spin the yoke around on the tube.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well,
How did that happen?
He had to replace this tube because yesterday when he was closing it, the infamous neck board caught on one of these wires and it went. I thought I heard something funny. Yeah. So we de-evacuated this vacuum tube.
That's an expensive sound.
Is that the one that looks?
No, this one's fine because you can see it.
No, this one here.
Oh yeah. You can see it's got the big cloudy stuff.
That's a black hole.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. I just thought that was funny though. The picture on this CRT is all slanted.
Yeah, that's a special Rorschach blot edition, I think.
Oh, is that what that is?
Well, you have to take the yoke off the old one.
Right. Yeah, the yoke off the old one. Gotcha. Yeah.
So,
I just found that a little strange, and then we got one here on the floor with a cardboard screen.
And that's no yoke.
No yoke. That's no yoke. That's right. I'm guessing that's probably to protect the screen.
Actually a Model 4 or a DT1 on the floor?
On the floor. Let's look on the floor here. Yeah, so you guys are going to... It's a DT1, guys.
Hey,
the DT1.
I
had
called
one
it.
of those.
Got a DT1 on the floor. I repeat, a DT1 on the floor. And
hey, I've got the operator's manual for that thing here in my hands.
Cool. Oh, and there's a...
I got a Model 4 on the floor here.
They got the double clutch. What do we got? We got an FD502 hanging out next to this. I guess I'm thinking that's a Model 1.
Yeah, correct. With
it doesn't have an interface. It doesn't have a 1 on it, so it must be. It doesn't have a number on it, so it must be a 1. And this is
parts and pieces.
Yeah,
parts and pieces. Exactly. This is not my forte at all. This is the original TRS-80 stuff. So
those are power supplies right there.
Yeah.
Switch
modes.
Oh,
Model 4 power supplies.
Yeah. Oh, and there's candy.
Oh,
now that we can identify.
Oh, those are the good ones.
Oh, I've never seen these. I'll have to. I'm gonna get one. And I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
I've never had the Thins, but hey, it's Reese's. Oh,
we got some RAM badges in here.
Ooh.
And some whatnot. Yeah. And
they all just 64K, or is there any 128?
I saw 60. This is 64 and 16.
Well.
I would assume this is all. Oh, there's a 128.
Cool.
Fella's not here right now, but and what's this here? We got a 4P. 4P right next to the
the high res card too.
Yeah, the thin Reese's. I'm just like, that's usually my favorite booth at any show is the booth with candy. And if there's more than one kind of candy, then it has to go to the better candy. My candy I like better anyway, which is purely subjective.
The question is, do they have Tandy candy?
I think Tandy candy tends to be a little leathery. And then we got another Model 1.
That one's working.
It is working.
What's it hooked up to? A SD card?
Yeah, it looks like it.
There's there's an SD card
with a real-time clock.
Oh, yeah.
Very well could be. That's good stuff. And then we'll move across the gap here.
4P.
And we've got another Model 4P.
Yep.
And one of those speakers, Tandy speaker system.
Yeah.
Multimedia 10 or whatever it's called.
Oh, now here's something with that looks like an 8 inches of
16.
What is that? A Tandy 6000 HD. It says there.
Okay.
Well, there we go. And that's
got the hard drive in it, doesn't it?
It says 15 meg disk system right there, right here, 15 meg disk system. So that's all the space you'll ever need, right? Who would need more than 15 meg? And, this must be the DREM MFM RLL drive emulator. at this booth again. And then we got another, it's a Model 12.
It's a 12? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Model 12. That's another one I'm not.
Those are 8
It's
inches.
kind of like the Model 16, except cheaper, wasn't it? It had 68,000 and a Z80.
Well, the 6000
No, it did
had
not.
a 68,000
It was
processor
just
in it.
It was just a Model 2 that had a single motherboard instead of them being split up.
Right. You could upgrade it, though. You could add the 68,000 board to it and kind of turn it into a 16.
Maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Could be.
Right.
And,
The 12 was basically a newer version of the 2.
And you could almost run OS 9 with it.
We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Sorry for the technical delays there. We had a bit of a crash on the main hosting system, so we're back up. And Jason will pick up where we left off, going through Tandy Assembly.
Oh, absolutely. I thought maybe it was me. I thought maybe I just crashed it with all my knowledge or lack thereof of
good looks
TRS-80.
is what you're saying, right? You're just being modest.
Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we were down here. We were just looking at this Model 2 with CPM on it, I believe, when everything went haywire. And I think we were done with that, so I can go ahead and move down here. And over down here, there's Mr. Eric Canales there, chatting it up with someone over there. And we have a Tandy 1000 HX here with some type of emulator going on here with. And this is this is a retro gaming roundup banner right there.
Is that an SD coding off the top of that?
Looks like a compact flash.
Yeah, it looks like it does. Looks like a compact flash. Yeah. So
it looks like clacks beside that. Yep.
We have a paper house. Oh, check this out. Look at this.
Oh, plotter.
Plotters.
215.
Oh, plotting money.
Breaking the law.
Can you make me a couple $1,000 bills? I don't want those wimpy $1 ones.
No. As long as it's increased or reduced by a particular size, it's perfectly fine. And this definitely looks big enough.
What's running that? Is the Tandy 1000 running that? Is it or? Oh no, that was running something else.
What is running the plotter?
Yeah.
I have the two plotters. The one plotter is being driven directly by a Model 4, and the other one is being driven by a PC. And usually I am running an emulator on the PC to drive the plotter. But for this particular plot, it does a better job if I just send the file directly, because every time the pen pauses, you get a little bit of a blotch. So for the really detailed plots, it's better if you just go ahead and just netcatting the file.
Awesome. And what's these paper buildings? What are those? Those are...
Yeah, so those are just architectural models that I build. The significance of the models here is that I do the drawings with these plotters. So I do it more or less as a hobby. If somebody wants me to build a model for them, I will, for a price, build them a model. But yeah, so I enter the drawings in AutoCAD, and then I plot them, and then I convert them to the language of these Radio Shack plotters, and then I just plot them on poster board that I buy at the dollar store for 50 cents a sheet. Then I cut it out with the X-Acto knife and fold it and glue it together, and these are the finished results.
Awesome.
Have you done a Radio Shack computer yet?
What's that, Moran?
I wonder if he's done a Radio Shack computer yet.
Oh, out of paper. Have you made a little Radio Shack computer out of paper?
I have not.
Have you thought about it?
We'll start with the Coco.
Have you thought about it?
No.
No, he hasn't thought about it.
So are you
Time to think about it.
Like over there?
Depends on what you want to pay for it, Ron.
Could be.
Maybe for next year I'll do that.
Maybe next year.
I'll do that. I'll do one letter on each page. Like a fairly large Radio Shack sign reproduction.
Oh, there you go.
I'm inspired.
You hear that? He's inspired.
Yeah.
You guys hear him okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, clear as a bell.
Oh, great.
He's
The new
not watching this show, but anyway.
Oh, obviously not watching CoCoTALK if he's inspired. Yes.
Inspired, or
he does listen.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, he you have it here first. He admits he's listened to CoCoTALK before.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
We're
What do we have
sorry.
here?
That guy?
We're sorry. Yes. What do we have there? We got.
You recognize that guy?
Tell him he doesn't get any refunds.
Does anyone recognize this man?
Is he on the wanted FBI wanted list?
I don't recognize who is.
Peter Stinsky.
Peter Stinsky. Okay.
He's one of the organizers.
Yeah. Now that looks like Micro up there. Yeah, Micro. Yeah, Micro is right next there to Einstein. Yeah.
So these are all done on the plot. These are obviously all done on the plotter, yeah.
Correct. Yes. Mullany triangulation. Say that 3 times fast, right? That's awesome.
Ask him if those.
At the post.
And you're Matthew, right? Yeah, we have Matt. We're talking to Matthew right here. See.
This is for the color computer guys?
Yeah, this is CoCoTALK. Yep.
Okay, so they may recognize this. So.
Drive wire.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, this one is running a drive wire driver on the Model 4, which I hacked to get 19.2 baud. You might recognize that as a non-color computer baud. Even though the picture is a color computer, 19.2 isn't a normally supported baud by drive wire, but that's as fast as the Model 4 UART will go. So this is actually running a drive wire driver that I wrote and using Boise's drive wire server.
Awesome.
Do a directory and you'll see it actually.
Yep, there we go.
It's the activity, and then eventually you'll see something on the display.
Ask him how much two plotters weigh.
Yeah, the DOS actually sorts the files. It puts them in alphabetical order, so it reads the whole directory before it displays anything. So that's why you notice the long delay.
Right.
And it'll print other drives as well. So it's reading the next drive. You can see all the activity, and then there's it.
That's cool. I didn't know anything about a drive wire port for the Model 4.
The next drive is the one that has all the plot files on it.
What's that, David?
I was going to ask, what's the UART chip that's on that system?
David wants to know what the UART chip is used on that system.
I think it's one of the Zilog.
It's a really weird one. I can't remember which one it is, but it's a little bit of an odd UART.
It's an odd one.
Yeah. It's from the technical manual, the technical reference manual. It's a little bit of an odd one because it doesn't have like a normal bus interface. It's got a separate send port and receive port, and it's but yeah, it was one that the Radio Shack actually sold in a blister pack in the store. You could buy it.
Awesome.
Sounds like you aren't good enough.
Now I did build a board with 16550 UART on it, and in that case I could go up to higher bauds. It's just the baud rate generator chip is just limited to 19.2, which was less than what the dry wire would support. And,
probably a 65.
So I was able to hack Boise's program and did 19. I can also run it off the drive wire for the Java server. There's an XML file you can edit to change the baud rate on it. So that was kind of a little bit easier, but I started with Boise's. And I actually showed this to Boise earlier today. He was impressed.
All right. Well, thank you, Matthew. Good talking to you. I'm sure we'll see you around.
Thank you.
Those.
Let's see now. We've made it to the corner.
The corner.
What do you want to know there, Ron?
Those flatbed printers are extremely heavy. I mean, the two of them sitting there together.
I don't doubt it.
100 pounds.
Oh wow!
They're heavy.
I don't doubt it. Let's see here. We've got some pocket computers. Let's see. What else?
Do you have big pockets?
Oh yeah, there's a little.
I don't know if I have a pocket quite that big.
It's
oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That's just a pocket computer. I think it says pocket printer cassette interface. There it is. Oh, this is.
Can I ask if that's the cassette on the
floppy days?
I have one of those.
That looks like a printer. I don't know where the
printer on the left. Yeah.
Printer.
And it does say cassette interface right here.
So it's probably got the inputs and outputs for the cassette, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's on the back if I remember. I haven't seen one in years.
So you run a separate deck on it, like a CCR 81 or something like that.
Right. Let's see here, and then we've got another Model 2 running here, and this one is all
open.
All open. It's all open. And is that Fletcher? No, that's not Fletcher. What is this? We got a DMP 400, and then under it we've got a 12 meg disk system under there, and under all that there. And
isn't that the one that there was interface for the Coco?
Yep.
That one. Yeah.
Okay. Another Model 2.
That's the cassette
open
interface
as well.
there.
What's that, Mark?
The cassette interface was not like the Coco. It was just 3.5 millimeter plugs.
Okay.
It's on the side of it.
We got a Tandy Model 4.
Huh.
And
no, that.
Somebody.
Well, that's part of the private label stuff, yeah.
You might want to tell whoever's in the background that they're live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of colourful language there.
We're gonna have to bleep that.
The family show.
They were talking about somebody's dog.
Still
Thank you, Ron.
Still
and
a
then
colourful description.
we'll fix it in post. Hey, we got Frogger on a Tandy. It says Tandy 3 microcomputer.
Are they the original badges? I didn't know they made the 3s and 4s with Tandy labels.
It's one of those. It is one of those like bubbled ones, like similar like the Coco one had. But and if we move over here, I remember showing this last year. Fellow's not here right now, probably again at the presentation. But another video interface here, emulating artifact colors, playing shooting gallery.
Coco 3. Yeah.
It's a Coco 3. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
And there's the TRS wiki. This is Peter Bartlett's table.
That's a pretty cool resolution on that.
That's a high-res interface board. They had it was 640 by 242 color, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Something up
here. So they do colour on those.
Well.
Oh, green's a color.
Black or white, or green, or white.
Can have any colors as long as they're black, white, or green. Another Model 3.
Amber sometimes, too.
And green and white was not the same time.
Right. And then we've got
what is Defense Command, I think, isn't it? I seem to recognize that.
That's it is Defense Command. You're right. Hey, but that's blue's a color.
And that's on a VGA.
Yeah, there's all kinds of extra boards back here.
Oh, that looks like it's a FPGA.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's emulating the disk interface. Expansion.
Could be. Computer.
Could be a field programmable gate array.
So does that have high res? That's a real Model 1 with high res and color?
It looks like it's
there's a model, what appears to be a Model 1 here, and then there's a cable here leading back to all these extra boards.
I was wondering if they were using a little bit of a Coco Man trick there with your cable, your kookaburra.
Crikey.
You almost had us fooled with that MC10.
Al Hartman's Model 1 is running an M1 SE. Oh, I see. In the middle one, there's the M3 SE.
Yeah, M3 SE there. And then let's see here. We'll just go ahead and continue on here. And we got Mr. Eric Canales. Why not? With his laser discs. And I didn't know that Nokia made monitors, but there's a really big Nokia monitor here.
Oh yeah. I have no idea they did either.
Nice looking.
Neither. It's running a Tandy machine, and then there's there's something called CocoMan.biz. I don't know what that is.
So that monitor's going to survive the apocalypse.
I think so. It's huge. Now just take this DVD case up for scale, and it's like it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than Eric's hand. You see that? It's bigger than Eric's hand.
Banana?
Banana?
Yeah, for scale.
I don't have a banana for scale. And then we've got this Cocoa Man. We got this Cocoa Man booth here. And
do you have any fruit with you at all? No fruit.
I don't think M&Ms are fruit.
Yeah.
Pac-Man game might have some fruit in it.
Oh yeah, you know what? There is a bit of a cherry down there in Pac-Man, and there's a digital cherry there, another digital cherry, and and we are demoing Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
And it is 20% off. Yeah, 20% off right now for the show.
Yeah, just for the show.
Yeah, just for the show.
They pay you to download it.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's 100% machine language.
And basic.
And basic.
And then, we got the Kookaburra and the Wallaby cables going, and have a full screen.
Is that an Atari 2600 joystick there?
No, it's a Waco.
Yes, it's a Waco, but it's an Atari 2600 compatible joystick. Hooked into my Coco 3. In this case, I'm using one of the Boyzentech adapters for Atari joystick to Coco.
Paragon.
Yeah, the Paragon. Yeah,
works. Wow, thanks.
It does work.
It's amazing. Oh, yeah, it works. Now we can.
Yeah, I'm going to redesign it. I'm going to make it spill proof. So Grant.
Yeah, it works fine. Playing Pac-Man here on the Coco 3. No issues there.
You have to pot the circuit board so it can't be disassembled.
Now, when you walk in the room, can you smell the electronics on?
I think I did it first, but I think I've gone nose blind to it now.
Nose blind.
Nose blind. And then right next to me here, we have again. He's out at the moment, but we have Paul Fiscarelli's table, and the producers of Long Branch Never. And,
Just before you move on to that, the Pac-Man demo, how do you get the, or was that just press a key to get it to run? Because I wanted to have a Pac-Man demo running on my thing, but it wouldn't do a demo on its own.
Well, this is the transcode, and what I do is I just don't hit 5, so I don't put any quote unquote money in it, and then it will run the attract screen.
Okay.
Once you hit the 5 key and put money in it, then it'll turn the attract screen off.
So, is that the secret? You got to put money in the thing?
Well, you hit the 5 key to simulate putting money in it, and then it'll play. Otherwise, it'll just do the attract screen with the game over message.
And then you go park in one of the secret spots, and you can just leave it running all day.
So, how many coins have you found inside the Coco 3?
Hopefully none, but I do have a Coco 3 that has some like OxyClean or something in it. If that counts for anything. And I picked up at VCF a couple weeks ago.
Well, they just had an article in Facebook about the fact that some of these computers had a screen over the vents on the inside.
Yeah, the Canadian ones.
Yeah.
You kept putting coins in them.
That would
you're putting your loonies and toonies in there.
They're putting loonies in them.
Unfortunately, it does not stop soft drinks like Grant Leedy tends to deploy.
Wow, Curtis, you are really loud.
Yeah, that was like over the.
That was like the voice of just.
Was thirsty.
The voice of God just came down.
Yeah, that was.
I'll turn it down a bit there. I hadn't touched it, but.
Yeah, you're super loud.
Distorted.
Am I still loud or?
Yeah, super loud.
Yeah.
How about now?
No difference.
It's like Canada's invading.
Sounded like it went from line level to mic level all of a sudden or something.
What does that say below the side?
How about now?
That's good.
Better. That's good. This is Paul Fiscarelli's table. This is a 3D printed Radio Shack sign. Try to get the glare off of there. Really cool. It's in a case. Got the lights. This is actually going to be put into the auction. It's really cool. It's all 3D printed.
I like the LED really cool. Lights.
That would look great on my wall.
That's good.
Yeah, well. And there's Eric Canales again. There we go. And it also has a Tandy, these lit up Tandy 3D printed Tandy logo.
That would look good on my other wall.
Yeah, these are sold. These are sold out right there. They are sold out. I mean, they were sold out before I even seemed to know about. Then there's also a TRS-80 3D printed.
Cool.
That'd look good in my garage.
And Ron, I'm surprised you don't have all this stuff in your garage already. Right? Those are still for sale. And then there is this
another
Tandy. Yeah, there's another one. They just keep coming. Paul got 2 tables. I should have got 2 tables. I put like a table and a half worth of stuff on one table. It's really packed. There was a few things I couldn't even put out. But
how much does he want for those signs?
This Tandy one is 45. The TRS-80 one, he has 55, and the Tandy with the color bars was 45, but those are sold out.
Those are nice.
And the Radio Shack one is for
Is he going to continue to sell them?
What's that, Nick?
Is he going to continue to sell them in the future? Like, does he make them and sell them as a?
I'll have to ask him. I am not certain at this point. He is not.
Those are cool.
They are very cool. That is a question I should have asked. And then this is still Paul's table. Hey, we're just
Color Max Deluxe.
Exactly. He's got Color Max Deluxe over here. Inside, there's been some artwork. We have a multi-pack along with an Ed Snyder keyboard.
Oh, look at that keyboard!
Run. Yeah.
Yeah, Dino Run. Yep, that's we got some Dino Run action here.
Run, Dino Run.
And here's something cool. That's so hard with the black background. There we go. Yeah, it's a little Dino. Yeah, it's Dino Run. Looks like we're gonna have. Looks like there's gonna be an award there. He's 3D printed up there.
Score. Yeah.
That's cool.
For Dino Run.
For those that don't know, that's a free game available from Paul Fiscarelli. And
there it is. Dino
Johansson.
Run, Dino Run. Yep, there it is right there. I still have to check it out.
I was playing around with it last night.
I have to download. That looks pretty cool. And then
looks really on that game. It's a big deal. Oh, that's
and Paul's computer cycles through colors here on his Coco 3. That's pretty cool, but he does have the Ed Snyder keyboard.
He does have
the red key. There's nothing on the red key.
That's the same. That's the same version as mine. It's the same color scheme as I've got on mine.
Look at that tag on there.
I mean,
right. Oh yeah, that's one of those. You got the
2048K.
2048K. Yeah.
One of Carlos
looks like
that's almost a Coco Plus.
Could be.
What was that, Richard?
Looks like it has the Boyson-Tech CPU DAD LED.
All those colors?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it could be. That's
Yeah, it is.
I'd have to ask him. I don't know. Okay, cool.
It should be.
Well,
and we've
got that in it too, but I've never been able to get colors out of it. So I don't know how to
You have to program it. You have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick
The single byte location
too.
Oh, it's a specific address that you can poke to, is it, or something?
Yeah.
It's a
okay.
Oh, here's Paul Fiscarelli now. Paul.
We've got interesting signs.
We're live on CoCoTALK, and they got questions.
Ask him if he'll make more signs if he sells them. We've got interest.
Hey, Internet World, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh, they want to know, are you going to make more signs? They really like your signs.
I don't know if I will or not. This may be an Tandy Assembly only type offering.
Keep in mind, because we've got interest in the channel.
But, we'll see.
Just let him know he's probably got some pre-orders here.
He's got some pre-orders.
Probably got some pre-orders over there.
Yeah, probably. But that's what I definitely don't want is like a backlog of people expecting and then not being able to fulfill because of time commitment. So we'll see.
Believe me, I understand.
So yeah,
make an exception.
A lot of interest, and I don't know if I'll go home with any, but we'll see. If I have anything left over, then maybe I'll offer them online. Don't know how well they'll ship. They're kind of fragile, obviously, but we'll see.
There you have it.
Let's see.
What other questions did you guys have since Paul's here now?
What's the shirt say?
Inside the Coco 3.
What about the Coco 3, Richard?
The LED.
What do you got inside the Coco 3 for the LED setup they want?
So this particular model here So the LED setup is just an RGB LED strip. It's running off of internal power on the Coco 3. There's also a couple of cooling fans here that are providing cooling for the CPU gimme area, as well as the power supply transformer side of things. It's all running off of the 18-volt AC rail. I've got an 18-volt to 12-volt bridge rectifier in there, so that's where the LED is getting power and the two fans are getting power. It's whisper quiet. There's a remote control to control the RGB settings, which obviously I left at home, so we're only getting the fade in, fade out of the multiple colors there. It's got Ed Snyder's keyboard on it, case badge, voice on tech, boomerang running 2 mega memory and a 6309, all provided by Richard. So it's a pretty nice little setup.
The Coco 3 Plus.
For the game here, we've got Run Dino Run, which is the collaboration between Simon Jonason and myself. And we've got this running, and you might have noticed that there's a little trophy sitting up top here. And this trophy will be given away at the end of assembly to whoever has the high score for the weekend. And right now, it looks like somebody got 4,524 points. So that's one of the highest scores I've seen. So we'll see if that holds up.
Well, let's see who's on the list. That's Andrew E.
Andrew Effenhauser.
Effenhauser. Okay, looked like an E. Okay.
So
there you go.
See if Andrew walks home with the trophy this weekend.
I did show the trophy earlier.
And then over here, I've got a setup that's so this has only got a 6809. I wanted to have 6309 ease of use, but the Coco SDC that I have in there has only got the 6309 version of it. So right now I'm running Eric Gavriluk's Color Max 3 with the high-res software modification, and we've got David Ladd and Mark Overhoser's Coco Mouse, an early prototype there that is providing the input, and it seems to work extremely well. And as you can see, it looks fantastic on a large screen like that. So trying to
I noticed that's a
promote and market for Mark and David there.
Smooth mouse action.
That is in the early phases of becoming a product. So we'll see how that turns out.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's it right here, isn't it?
Yep.
There it is.
Is that still 4:3 ratio?
I don't have it. So here. These are the little brackets. I'll probably make these as STL files for people. They want to download them, but basically there's your 40 by 40 by 10 millimeter fan. Just mounts to the bracket, and on the underside here, those just clip on. They do wedge onto the veins of the plastic of the Coco 2 or Coco 3. I just use a little spot of hot melt glue, and it holds it in there nice and firm. And then this is just 12-volt fan. So with a little 18-volt bridge rectifier to 12-volt DC, you can run these as well.
Awesome.
Does he think he needs the fan with like the boomerang board and stuff there with the static RAM? Because that runs a lot cooler.
Now, Curtis wants to know, do you think you need the fan with like the boomerang board, or?
You do not need it for the boomerang board whatsoever. I would highly recommend it if you have a 512K stock Radio Shack upgrade. But I know that there's people that say you absolutely do not need cooling whatsoever on a color computer. But coming from a background in electronics, less heat is always better when you're working with electronics, and it helps prolong.
I can vouch if you had the Disto 1 meg, you absolutely did need one.
You got your hands full, but there's obviously quite a bit of difference between this Coco and this Coco that have been running side by side. This one's running about 15, 20 degrees hotter. And actually.
All right. Walk around there. Yep. We got the stock Coco. We're going to get all scientific. Someone wake Ron Delvaux up.
I'm not asleep.
Are there cooling kits you can get for these?
No,
That's a good.
not commercially.
That's why he's going to make the printable brackets for the fans.
Might be a good product for Richard to steal.
Yeah. Let me copy.
What's
So we've got a little thermal imaging camera here. So we'll take a look at this cocoa first. As you can see, that's glowing pretty good, and it's relative. So that's 106 to 107 degrees right there. Over by the CPU, it's a little bit cooler, about 85, 86 degrees. So we'll come over
What
to
is that in
this one.
Celsius?
And on the power supply side, we're about 84, 85 degrees. So that's about 20 degrees cooler right there. And over on the CPU side, it's about the same, roughly 78 degrees. So a few degrees cooler over there.
About 10
so
Celsius
it's obviously
lower.
doing something.
It's
and
cooler
again, like
because
I
of the
said,
metal in
less
the
heat
core.
is better than more heat when it comes to electronics. So like to try to prolong the life of these as much as possible.
You heard it here first. Less is more.
That's right. More life.
More life. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. You know, I'm not running the stock 512K upgrades anymore just for the fact of heat.
So one other thing I'll throw in here real quick, for those of you that may be aware about the Tech Talk track that we had yesterday, I did that presentation on floppy disk preservation and using a CryoFlux tool. Arno, who's here with his Tris.io, he saw the demo and the presentation I did, and he was really eager to try something with these floppy disks that he had that were 40 years old, that were FM encoded. We didn't know what the encoding was at the time. He developed them on a Genie system. Can't remember which one. So we threw them in with the CryoFlux, and we were able to recover source code from 40 years ago that he hasn't seen or touched that he was looking for, which he was extremely happy about. So that was another really cool thing that happened this weekend here at the show.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Yep. So we'll see what comes of that, but he was really happy about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's about it that I've got.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul. We'll probably see you later.
Yeah. Speaking of 512 boards, you can get them at Tandy Assembly.
Yes, you can. They're for sale at Tandy Assembly at the CoCoMan.biz booth.
And what's the price?
They are the 512K upgrades are $15 at TA.
Oh wow, that's a good price.
Speaking of TA, we got some sweatshirts and the official 2019 Fest T-shirts here for sale. Nobody here at the booth right now, and then we're gonna go. We have some hats for sale here, along with. Now I saw him earlier. I don't see him right now, but Neil was around here. I talked to him earlier. He might be downstairs manning the table, actually, at the door.
Yeah, I saw John in Boise earlier there too when you were talking to Paul. So
yeah, they just kind of. I missed them, and you're still really loud, Curtis.
Oh, geez, I keep turning it down here, but.
And now this is something that Neil did. I will talk about this, Neil. I was talking to Neil earlier, and at the show, he has a Night Lore floppy disk version for $10 compared to the cartridge version. So
oh, cool.
And check it out. I might get one of these shirts. I'm just a sucker for red. I like that shirt. I may pick one up. Then he also has his joypad adapters for the Sega.
More Reese's cups back there?
No Reese cups, but I do see a coffee crisp hanging out here behind everything.
Oh,
I did see that. That's definitely Canadian candy there.
A Canadian thing, yeah. That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely Canadian candy.
That's the good stuff.
It looks like the joystick interface is hooked up to a Tandy 1000 HX.
Now that would work on the color computer too, wouldn't it?
Yes, it'll work on the color computer. Yeah, sure will. I think now the color computer also for the support of the extra buttons, it has a 4-pin serial thing, and beside all that, we have Brendan Donahue, which we ran into him earlier, and now we're here at the CoCoVGA booth. And
is there any more updates to the CoCoVGA?
Yeah, is there any more? They want to know if there's any more updates.
Any more updates? Well, I have the same microbit accelerometer and jukebox demo. Well, actually, the jukebox demo is marginally new that I had at CoCoFest. All 4 of these systems are running Coco VGA. So I've got 2 F-board Coco 1s. One is a TDP 100. I've got a T1 Coco 2 over here. And down there on the end, I have a Rev B board Coco 2. That one actually has Ed's SAM accelerator in it. So that's the one that you can run the true double speed poke, and it doesn't scramble up the video.
Very cool. Very cool.
And that's what's a D board, did you say?
We have.
So it's a really early one.
Character set editor.
I thought you said F board.
My daughter Morgan's
TDP
Bombs Away game is running on that one. That uses the custom character set that you might design using this.
Show us the double speed.
Double speed poke one. So I don't know, not particularly useful for games and stuff like that, but pretty useful for things like OS 9 and Fusix. So so it does work with Coco SDC and double speed mode. I don't dare use it with the floppy drive. So this is what Ed's upgrade looks like. So there's a Coco VGA board, and there's the SAM accelerator that lets you use the full high-speed poke.
Cool.
So he's got a CPLD in here that intercepts that poke and doubles the clock speed to the SAM. It never tells the SAM that it's doing it. It doesn't tell the SAM to change clock frequency. So so he's sort of hiding that. So the other things that he shipped me when he sent me this this prototype board was faster RAM, 150 nanosecond RAM, and faster PIAs. And so I've got all those installed in here.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. I agree. That's awesome. Saying that's awesome. I like that.
Now, see, having a clear case would be perfect for that situation right there. Show it off.
Yeah.
Oh, you so you need a clear case so you can show it off.
Oh, right. Yes, I don't have to lift the case to open it. Right.
Throw some LEDs in there, and you're all set.
Absolutely. Okay.
Lower the suspension.
Any other questions?
You guys got any other questions for Brendan?
Dragons overseas in Europe. So, yeah, I owe them some time and some love.
Definitely.
Hello,
you heard it here first.
Has he ever had any failures on his boards yet?
Ron wants to know, Ron Delvaux wants to know, have you ever had any failures on your boards?
I have had one failure.
Wow.
One of the boards I was using failed, and Ed fixed it. And I think Mike Brandt had one fail, and Ed repaired that one for him as well.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good track record. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Less than 2%.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great yield. All right. Well, thanks, Brendan.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure we'll see you around.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I like your shirt.
I like your shirt, Brendan. Oh, looks like we got Boise's book here, and
oh, cool. How much is it going for there?
you know what? I don't see anything listed. I saw Boise earlier. I don't see him right now, but not sure. And then that same vicinity, we have Cloud 9, and
still see everything clearly.
Absolutely. We got some deluxe joysticks, some direct modem packs. We got some floppies. We have some ROM packs. We got all kinds of stuff over there, and that's
I
good.
see he has a soldering iron for sale. Oh, poor David. He already has one.
Yeah, and
that looks like a good
it's
one.
a Weller.
It's a Weller.
Yeah, it's a Weller. Yeah, they're good.
I do see Mark over there. He's over there talking to the keynote speaker, and whose name escapes me right now.
We have four other spaces this size.
You know, that would have been the other show I was at there. But I'll just go ahead and let's see here. We'll go ahead. Yeah, there's Mark Marlette and our keynote speaker chatting it up there, and we got some. We'll go ahead and go through here through the center. We've gone all around the end. I don't think I really need to go over the beverages and snacks, but this would be the center tables, and Mark Marlette back there, and we got some. There's the at one time secret Model 16, and we got another.
That's
another
not
model.
Really
That was a secret at one time, but that was a long time ago. That was part of the keynote speak, which I'm hoping I saw it was being recorded. I'm hoping someone puts it out. That was a really fun keynote speaker. I really enjoyed that. So
yeah, it's already on YouTube, Jason.
Oh, is it? Great.
Tandy Assembly has a.
We put that in the show notes, Mr. Mark Overhoser. That'd be great. That's I do recommend checking that out. That's great.
I'll find it and chase it down and put it in there.
Awesome. Oh, we got a tape recorder. Okay, here's a CTR-80A. I never had one of those. I don't know if that was. I don't know if you could use that with your Coco or not.
If I remember, isn't that the one that had where the buttons would wear off fairly quick and then they wouldn't stay down?
Good question. That's
any Tandy sensations?
No, but we did come up in the keynote, and funny enough, I know someone who owns one. They were asking me about it. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. But,
they have a great sales video on YouTube if you want to learn how to sell one.
Yeah. Well, our keynote speaker, and his name escapes me at the moment, but he worked on that. So that was pretty cool.
That's the Model 1 version of the demo that I'm running behind me right now, by the looks of it.
This is the raycasting demo by Tim Halloran. Wolfenstyle 3D raycasting. And Wolfenstyle made 3D raycasting. I'll get it eventually. Popular. So we have that.
What are those square things on there? Chips or?
We have a TRS-80 Model 1 no-chip V-blank modification. And there's a lot of wires on here, guys. A lot of wires.
What does it do?
So just going to ask.
It says on the side behind.
Well,
it's a video output mod by the looks of it.
But this which allows visibility of start and end of the V-blank. V-blank detection allows for graphics without interface or tear as well as up to 192 pixel vertical resolution. It's hard to look at what you're shooting and look at what you're shooting through the camera. The Model 1 could have shipped with this, absolutely no extra manufacturing cost. Modification was created by Tim Halloran from ideas by George Phillips, and a special thanks and motivation to Trash Talk episode 21. George Phillips. I think I'm friends with George Phillips on Facebook, and we have a TRS-80 assembly language programming manual here, and then another Model 1. We have some type of, this is the bouncing ball demo. So that's pretty cool. Look at it go. Look at that.
You know you're a real computer system when you have a bouncing ball demo.
Right. Model 1 with a bouncing ball. Absolutely.
128 by 192.
And that's the official Model 1 monitor, too.
Look at,
It's like a TV.
Nice. It is. It's actually an RCA TV that was specially boxed.
That's great.
It is.
We have over here. We have a Model 3 with Mr. Spock on it there. With the
okay, I think
this is the Model 3 with the
where amber screen's a thing.
They were a thing, but this is the
I don't think
high resolution graphics card. So
I don't think Tandy had the amber screen, but it was aftermarket.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were only white.
Okay.
What's the resolution? Does it tell you?
640 by 240, I think, if I remember correctly.
It looks pretty good.
Not good. That's pretty good resolution.
As he would say, fascinating.
It did run slow.
Absolutely.
That was one issue. I remember people said you couldn't do too many arcade type things on there because the access to the graphics RAM for that card was quite slow.
Okay.
What do we got here? We've got
a 2-shoe tray.
13 Ghosts or something, I think?
Yeah, 13 Ghosts, yep. And some LS-DOS going on here. We got some more Model 4s. We got a little quick printer. And
I don't see any Nick Morente's Model 3 game.
No, I don't see any Donut Dilemma going on or anything like that at this point.
Just going to mention that.
Yeah. Last year I saw
conference.
that. We'll go and just go ahead and cover the end of just right across from me here. We have some more LDOS.
Jason, quick question for you.
Yeah.
You guys are actually having it in a museum this year because of some scheduling conflicts?
Now, that's the impression I'm under, yes.
So is the museum still technically open to the public, or have you guys taken it over and they're not allowing general public in at this point?
I have still seen the public in here in the public part of the museum. I haven't seen any in the conference room or the exhibition rooms that we're in. I haven't seen any of that, but I have seen some other members.
Okay,
of the
I was just
general
wondering if
public
anybody
in
was
here.
wandering in and going, "What the heck is this?"
No, I haven't seen that. It's a pretty cool museum.
Well, there's still museum pieces in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of museum pieces here, and a lot of the same things.
Now you're
we
talking
just,
the people or the computers then?
I think more the computers. I don't know how the people would take to that, but we do have there's the Tandy 6000 HD again, and have another monochrome screen here, and then there's a couple tables here that are just empty, but we have here the back of the Radio Shack sign here, and then I guess we can go ahead and we do. There are still some snacks available. They're left over from breakfast, and we have some. We still have some beverages, and if you want some ice water, there's water with some ice in it. But
R2D2.
R2D2. And if I go quickly here, if I go quickly down here, we'll go through the museum. All the presentations are actually happening down on the lower level.
Hey, how about we do a commercial break before we show the rest of the museum?
That'd be great. Let's do that, and I'll give my battery a little boost while we're doing that.
Okay. Short commercial break. Or actually, long commercial break.
You are watching CoCoTALK, the world's leading weekly video podcast featuring the Tandy color computer. We spread the love to the past, present, and future for all models, including the original color computer, the Coco 3, and the world-renowned exclusive French-Canadian Coco 2. The Radio Shack.
As you start your journey to Coco Fest, you notice the road ahead is littered with rogue furniture. You realize you are driving on the Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. The new game for the Tandy Color Computer 1, 2, and 3. Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. Stunning low-resolution visuals. Digital to analog converted sound. 100% machine language and basic. What are they saying about Nightmare Highway? Nightmare Highway. Steve B. York says, of all the games released this year, this is one of them. L. Kurt S. Boyle says, this will not be on my site. Nick Marionette says, crikey, look at the size of that crock. Get your complimentary copy of Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. At cancanmakeit.com. If you got it for free, you paid too much.
Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Right! This Christmas, Tandy has a very special offer. A family color computer pack to take away at a very special price. This family computer comes complete with software and costs an incredible $449, a saving of $241.69. It's powerful, educational, and ideal for the young and young at heart. The easy way to start computing. The Color Computer Family Pack from Tandy. Get it while it's hot. Tandy, the biggest electronic store in Australia.
As you start your journey to Coco Fest, you notice the road ahead is littered with rogue furniture. You realize you are driving on the Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. The new game for the Tandy Color Computer 1, 2, and 3. Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. Stunning low-resolution visuals. Digital to analog converted sound. 100% machine language and basic. What are they saying about Nightmare Highway? Nightmare Highway. Steve B. York says, of all the games released this year, this is one of them. L. Kurt S. Boyle says, this will not be on my site. Nick Marionette says, crikey, look at the size of that crock. Get your complimentary copy of Nightmare Highway. Nightmare Highway. At cancanmakeit.com. If you got it for free, you paid too much.
Coming soon.
All situations depicted in this trailer actually happened. This true story has been anonymized to protect the guilty. Starting in the dead of winter, a group of bored teenagers blew stuff up, learned code cracking, learned phone phreaking, hijacked and hacked. No system was safe. No one could catch them, or so they thought. True story at the dawn of the internet. System hacked.
All right, and we're back.
I'm going to tell people you're welcome.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, the audio's good on YouTube now.
Huh.
Yep. Audio's good. And I do want to compliment Ken Reichert on his game, Nightmare Highway. Can I get an echo? Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
Nightmare Highway.
I posted the link earlier in the chat for Nightmare Highway, and if you download it and you go through the basic code and the assembly code, Ken Reichert has notated every single line. So if you want to learn kind of how he put together the game and how it works, just an amazing kind of record and training tool. So download Nightmare Highway today, 50% off.
Thank you, Ken.
All right. We ready to go back to Coco Man and finish the tour?
Yep, if he's still got battery.
Oh, I've got battery. I just got another battery. I hear a kitty. I hear something there.
That's my little my ginger one wanting some attention, isn't it? What are you doing, pussycat? Why are you interrupting our show?
Okay. Well, so we're back. I'm down here on the. I've gone down here to the first floor, and we have.
So what type of museum is this?
Is the Heritage Center of Clark County. It is there's a lot of type of museum. Well, it's just a lot of. Well, it's not like an art museum. We got the registration table there. There's Neil Blanchard. Oh, there's Eric Canales again.
Oh, it's like
Why not?
Local heritage museum?
I think so. Absolutely. But if we walk down the hall here, down here in the lower level, all the presentations are happening down here. And I think there's one going on right now.
Hey, Ron, Al Hartman's asking if you brought enough sandwiches for everyone.
Yeah, but it's, of course, there's a lot of work that went into it before I even started, and just the golden grass.
Now, didn't Tandy Assembly have, they're streaming to YouTube right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have the auction table here in the back.
So who signed that Coco 1?
So that's what we got.
No.
Pretty good auction table.
No.
Pretty good attendance at the seminar.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great. Those are all being streamed to YouTube. That's good to know. We can do a quick run through the museum here, and as my battery fails me, I do. Oh, there's my row. Mike Rowan. All down here at the registration table, but
Neil. Is that Neil?
That is Neil. Yep. Let's see here. We got no food and drinks permitted in the museum.
What's the Canadian count? Do we have just one Canadian?
I know of at least two. But this looks like a kind of a local history type of thing. We have a lot of exhibits here, and there's telegraph. Oh, let's see here. I really haven't had a chance to come down here yet, but this is a really neat building. A lot of neat things here. We got some bicycle.
Look at the units of the old-fashioned bike with the big front wheel.
Yeah, the big front wheel here. We have see this car race an airplane. Okay.
Now, is the exhibit hall going to be open until midnight like it normally is, or are they close it down early? Okay.
No, it'll be open until midnight. And I'm not sure what's in here. We have.
Looks like a steam engine.
Looks like it. Yeah, we have. There's another. I keep finding more rooms.
A lot of very notable things were developed in Ohio. So.
Was it like
it's like an old teletype
machine
ticker tape?
Looks like something like that.
Looks like a steam engine.
Yep. We have the another exhibition hall. This just keeps going. Because I'm crossing the parking lot, and there's a whole nother
building.
Whole nother building over here. Wow. Okay, I didn't notice this before.
Oh, cool.
Look at this. Look at this.
Fire apparatus.
Fire apparatus. Oh, but I just found something that I think will be very interest to the show. And let me see, we'll go for the big reveal here. I have found the Brain Lumber Co.
And that's in Springfield, Ohio, right?
Yes, we are in Springfield, Ohio. Yep.
Cool.
Family owned and controlled since 1880.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because this is pretty much across the street and across a little courtyard from the hotel it was held at last year. So if I look outside in the distance, I can actually see the hotel. But that's we got some steam road roller.
Well, that looks that would be worth stopping into if you get into town.
Absolutely, there's a lot of neat stuff in here. I can't, in the time we have, I really can't do it justice. But
it looks like a seeder you drag behind a team or a tractor to plant seeds.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we have here. I'll go ahead and move. I'm going to move back into the other building. There's a whole nother side to that first room I was in. And this is just the first floor. The second floor is where Tandy Assembly is. And, okay, so we'll go past this car racing an airplane exhibit, and we'll come around this side. And we got some,
look at our show being all educational and stuff.
Educational. Here's the thing with this other stuff, and here's what's a Mahooza.
So you guys happy with the venue?
It's a nice venue. I was a little skeptical being across the street, across from the hotel, but it's worked out. It's worked out well.
Actually, it looks very much like VCF Pacific Northwest or VCF West, which are both held in computer museums. So,
okay,
it doesn't seem so weird actually.
So do you think is this a better venue than last year? You think?
I don't know if I could quite make that call. That's kind of a subjective thing.
What's up with the travel halls? Were those made in Springfield?
It just says internet was just that it was ahead of its time. I don't know if it was made here or not. See if there's any more additional signage. The signage says, "Please look, but don't touch."
Yeah, I mean, Jeeps were made in Toledo, Ohio, so maybe.
Right, I owned a Jeep that was made in Toledo. Absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe these were made somewhere there. So.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and go up to the second floor. We'll just go ahead and take the stairs. We'll get those points in. You can kind of see, come up the stairs here. We've got all this signage, and then we'll go back up to the second floor where Tandy Assembly is being held. But instead of going to the right like these fellows are, we're going to go ahead and go to the left and go to the other part of the museum here. And we got all kinds of vintage looking signs and whatnot down here. So that's Keys,
International Harvester. Yeah, it looks. I think AAA is based in Ohio also. Yeah.
I did not know that. I don't know where AAA is, where it started. I know Wendy's fast food started in Columbus, Ohio. I know that, but I guess I'm a little behind on my Ohio history. Oh, we have a Westcott Motor Company. Huh. And that was Westcott Motor Company, Springfield, Ohio.
Looks like the VW logo.
Yeah.
Just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we got a little bit of a ramp up here. Oh, this is the military gallery. Okay. I must have just tripped off some sensors because the case lights came back on. And
as long as you don't trip off any alarm sensors.
No, just some lights, and that looks like that's an exit, and they've got must be moving some pieces around. There's a ramp there. Little exhibit here. We got Spanish-American War. The exhibit here, World War I, World War II. We got World War II, Korea, Cold War, that sort of thing.
How much are they paying them to stand in there? It'd be a pretty boring job.
They're a bunch of dummies to do it, you know.
I wonder if they have any astronaut stuff in there, because there was about.
I didn't see anything there because that's just a little loop back there, and I've come back into the room that I was up in the. Oh, there's one of those, a windmill up there. I didn't notice that before on the way in. But,
yeah, there's a bunch of astronauts from Ohio.
Oh, there sure are. One of them's got an airport edge.
Presidents too.
Yep, there sure are. There's you got astronaut John Glenn. Actually, the Columbus International Airport has been named after John Glenn.
And the Toledo Airport just got renamed after the flight controller for Apollo 11.
Oh, really?
Cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, we have some. Okay, whatever's back here is closed to the public. Oh, okay. I think that's the other door into the room for Tandy Assembly. I think that's the other door there.
You can come out behind the speaker. Do it. Do it. Do it.
No, the speaker is downstairs. I'm on the. Looks like there's some kind of room for presentation. There's a projector up there, and
that's neat.
And that exit is blocked.
That's
off.
for the 8-foot high version of Gatecrasher later.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It's a real labyrinth there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, some of this I've kind of spun around a little bit. Those World War I and II displays, those were a bit of close quarters. And then this is just where we came through. And then right before you go into Tandy Assembly, you have there's some additional exhibits. And open me. Open. We'll go ahead and open this. Looks like we have
arrowheads.
Arrowheads, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's some bones and that sort of thing. That is great. It's good stuff. And see, more stuff we can open. Old map, more drawers. More drawer I can open there. Yeah, okay, we'll take it.
Open the one below.
I don't know if it's. There's stuff in there too, guys. Yeah. Absolutely, it's all in there. If you want to see what's on, you're going to have to make the trip out here. But then, and then we're just really we're getting back into the exhibit hall here. Looks like things have picked up a little bit.
Living antiques.
I love the radio show.
Mr. Eric Canales. Presentation must be over. People are starting to pour back in, and
the realistic shirt.
Yep, he's got the realistic shirt. Yes, Eric is being very realistic.
So we haven't had any power failures or anything, right?
No power failure. Oh, here's look who we got here. We got Tony Pedraza from Glenside. How you doing, Tony? You're
I'm
on
doing
CoCoTALK.
just fine. How are you doing?
Doing great. Good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
See anything that you surprised you this time around? No?
No.
Not yet. See anything you like?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's good. That's good.
Too numerous to mention.
So far.
Got to get them embedded into the memory.
All right, Tony. Well, good to see you. We'll see you around. I'll talk to you later or something.
Very good.
All right. Let's see. We'll do. We'll keep rolling. There's Brendan again. And oh my. Anyway, guys, I
waiting
think
for the rawhide theme after that. Keep on rolling.
Rolling. Right. Rolling. But this is we're getting a little more traffic in here. It's things kind of come and go in between.
If Steve was here, he would say he's real dizzy because you're shifting it around too much. Come on, slow it down.
Oh yeah. Well, this presentation of Tandy Assembly on CoCoTALK is brought to you by Shaky Vision. Put on your 2D glasses now. I think that's really going to be it for right now, guys. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, and whatnot. I don't know if we're going to do anything later, but that's the gist of Tandy Assembly.
That was awesome.
A lot of pretty
I got
cool
one
things.
question for you.
Okay, I'm breaking. Okay, go ahead.
Well, when you put the phone down, are you going to go buy something?
Stranger things have happened. You never know. I will neither confirm nor deny that. How about that?
Okay. For another show.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up from Tandy Assembly. And Mr. Rob Inman, I'll send it back to you, and maybe we'll be back later.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was great.
Thanks for the tour.
So is anybody chatting? Because I noticed there's no chat showing up here on the screen.
It is not working.
Yes, there is chat going on.
There's some in YouTube.
Okay. Well, another thing I'll have to fix it sometime when I get a chance.
I wonder if Stevie has it set so they disappear after a certain length of time again.
No, because I have a message that's on here that's been here for last hour since I had the reboot.
There is a little a box that you have to check that so it won't remove it after 30 seconds from the main screen.
Yeah, well, my initial my startup message is still here.
Okay.
But it's just nothing new's been increasing.
So we've had during that we've had Nick Marentes is here. Hello, Nick.
Looks like the internet's giving me some trouble now. It went to 0 bytes there for a few seconds.
Yeah, I noticed there's a little bit of a freeze there, and I was hoping you didn't have another computer blue screen.
No, it looks like the internet froze for just a bit, but I see it's back again. Right as that message popped up on the message screen. Wow. Okay. We haven't done the acquisitions yet. So.
Yeah, general updates and acquisitions going around the table here. I don't have anything, so wait if anybody else does.
Let's start with Dave O'Connor.
All right. I'm got a new camera system going on here at the moment. It's I didn't actually acquire anything with Radio Shack or Tandy on it, but I purchased.
But since you use it for the show, it counts.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Two, not just one, but two. This is the other one. That's a Polycom HDX 6000. The one I'm using that's actually doing my stream at the moment is a HDX 8000. The HDX 8000 retailed for $28,000. It still retails for $28,000 in Australia. Full 1080. It's a pan tilt zoom broadcast quality TV camera. Really good microphone. They're basically designed as these ones come from the government, and they're proper conferencing systems.
So did you buy it from somebody's trunk or something, or?
No, I won it at an auction.
Oh,
it's actually legit. It's there was 2 of them. Oh, there was actually 4 of them. I missed out on the other 2. But the big one, the 8,000, that's the one that I was mainly after, what I'm using right now. I'm only actually using it in standard definition at the moment. I need to get a HD capture input for my computer. It's I can as you can see here, I've got the Coco 3 Plus there running on my LCD screen behind me here. If I want to just do a nice little tight shot, I can just press one button on the remote control and it zooms me into a preset. I can then zoom back a little bit more and go back to that, or I'll go somewhere in between. Or I can press that and do a wide shot. You see more of the studio there with my open reel deck and the synthesizers and everything in the background. And
so do you have a hand controller there?
Yeah, it's a remote control right here.
Oh, okay.
I can pan, tilt, zoom, and I can program in scenes basically into all of these presets.
Does it do text?
Text, as in
on the screen.
Oh no! It doesn't. It doesn't do text directly, but what it does do, it's got green screen capabilities built in. So if I wanted to add graphics or even content directly from a Coco, which I tried last night, experimented with it, I can set up a green screen behind me and I can actually have any image, whether it's computer presentation graphics or text, like you're saying, or other video.
Put yourself in Dino Wars.
Exactly.
Dino Wars.
If any one of us came and visited with you, we couldn't see everything you have for at least 2 weeks it would take
to get through everything. Something like that. It's
wow.
If I just go back to that, I can pull that back a bit further and zoom out a bit more. That's and then my little pan control here. That's the drum kit beside me.
Do you have beds on your wall for sound deadening?
Yes, I do.
Let's see that.
Yeah, just in there. If I zoom in there,
there's one back there.
If I go in there, there's a couple of mattresses behind. That's the main speaker system there. That's my main monitor speaker system there. That came from a Village Roadshow cinema.
So who gave you the idea of using beds?
That's an old sound engineer trick, that one.
Oh.
And you can see there a little bit, if you look in there, you can see my 3D cube array of Auratone speakers there. There's 4 up the top. And if I
because we know they all sleep in their studios.
There's 4. What's up?
Yeah.
They all sleep in their studios and need beds in the studio.
Yep. And if I zoom in here, you can see in the background there on the floor is one of my projects coming up. Is I'm going to put a Coco 1 into this. There's the
Model 4 case.
Was that a data
Model 4 case there?
Nice.
That's no. That's a Model 4. That's a. And sitting on top of that, you can probably see the Mega Mini MPI sitting up there. That's the second one. I've got 2 of them. So that's the Polycom system. I can zoom around anywhere I want, and then just go straight back to my show preset like that, and boom, there we are.
Nice.
So that's my acquisition for this week.
No shaky cam for you.
No, a nice, good quality broadcast. No, it's full 1080. So even though I'm only doing standard definition at the moment, it does do 1080. So and it's got 2 camera inputs and computer input and an extra content input.
Is that your website on your shirt?
It's a friend of mine. Owns that website. So a lot of the stuff in the big modular behind me, that's all from synthesizers.com. So I want to get a proper Tandy T-shirt, but I haven't got one yet. So a Radio Shack one or something for the show. So that's on my to-do list, is to visit 8bit256.com and get one of the Radio Shack T-shirts.
And are we still on photocells?
On
solar panels.
Oh, yes.
Are you off the grid still?
Yeah, well, the show's running off. Everything's running on batteries at the moment because it's 5:30 in the morning. So, my broadcast and the monitor behind me and my Coco 3 and 3 Plus. Thanks, Ron. And all the lighting. Yeah, the whole lot, the Polycom systems, the whole lot's all running on batteries at the moment. So
amazing.
So that's my news for the week, pretty much.
Cool. You are awesome.
Well,
glad you're on our show.
It's a joy being on this show with fellow coconuts, people who share my love of old 8-bit computing done right.
Does anybody else have any new acquisitions or updates?
I do. I have some acquisitions over the course. We haven't done acquisitions for a while, so over the course of the last 3 weeks or so, I've gotten a couple things. I got my MC10, and I ordered. Well, you can't really see it in frame, but the screen is actually the MC10 with a listing of one of Jim Geary's programs, and I got the MCX 128 from Ed Snyder. Which works well. Unfortunately, the MC10 came in a box, but they just used the box as a shipping box and put tape all over it. So didn't survive removing the tape very well, unfortunately. But I do have that. And I ended up getting one of Ed's mini MPIs, the 2-slot. And I got a couple of cartridges. I got Scriptsit, which actually I got these on purpose. They were really cheap, and these will be useful if I need to repurpose them for some reason.
For the MC10?
I got color file with the box, which is totally useless. Graphic pack, which allows you to create pie charts and graphs and stuff. I also got, now Curtis knows about this more than I do. There's a publication called Kelly News, which was a catalog for Coco. And so I got 2 issues of this, and it has in it descriptions of various software you can get, Mr. Dig, Doodlebug, and whatever. And there's also articles in there. Like, for example, this one has Upgrading the New Korean Coco by Martin Goodman. So it's a combination of software titles you can order and some tech articles. So I got 2 issues of that, issues 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'll just a quick aside on that. That Kelly Software Services was a company out of Edmonton, Alberta, I believe. It's in Alberta for sure. I think it's Edmonton. That was the main distributor of third-party Coco stuff for at least Western Canada, if not all of Canada.
Yeah, named for his last name was Kelly, so it was named after him. And I also have a 1988 catalog of Dicom products. So you can.
Cool. I used to have one of those, and I lost mine, so. Kind of jealous.
So you can order Gantlet 2 and Iron Forest and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this guy was just getting rid of. It's the same person I bought. I don't know if a few weeks ago I had gotten a couple games, Wildcatting and Color Baseball and stuff. And he also he was getting rid of all this stuff, and it was sitting in his listing for weeks. So I asked him if he wanted to get rid of it for cheap, and he said yes. So that's what I did. I got some rainbows too, a few sort of rainbow magazines. So I got the rainbow magazines, the Kelly News, the Dicom catalog, those round packs I showed you as a bundle.
So are you going to have to move into a different place to accommodate your collection?
Yeah, I know it's getting there. It's coming along quite nicely. If you look at my ukulele video from 3 months ago or whatever it was, and I had nothing behind me. I've got a nice Coco collection growing. So yeah, those are my acquisitions.
That's very cool, Nick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Make sure you contact Ron on how to build a garage.
Hey, listen, if you have enough stuff, okay, this is what happens. You go you go out in your garage and you look for a couple of things, and you find a couple of other things you didn't realize you had. So then you bring them out and you set them up and you play with them, and then you put them back. And then when you put them back, you find, oh, I have one of those. Oh, cool. I forgot about that. So I'll bring that out and, hook it up and try it. And so, like, if you can go for months if you have enough stuff of refinding the stuff you already have, which is really cool. That's my experience.
It's fun. It's fun to collect the stuff.
Yeah.
Or you could just be like Steve and just order things on eBay constantly, and you just end up with like 6 of this and 4 of this.
I have a project or an acquisition also.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, okay. So this is not a Coco project, but it could be. Basically, there's a guy in Germany. He goes by the handle Byte Booster because he makes RAM cards for the Apple II GS computers. But he come out with a new product here, which is basically an adapter. The joystick and the paddles on the Apple II are just like the Tandy and the Coco and the 1000 and the IBM PCs, that they're variable resistor rather than switches. So he basically came out with this little adapter that basically has the analog output on the one end, and then on the other side he has a Super Nintendo port and an Atari joystick port, or Commodore 64. So it actually has a microcontroller on it. It's a PIC microprocessor, and I was playing it with the new Apple game. I'm using my Super Nintendo controller with it. So the only difference is that the Apples, they use a 0 to 150K range, whereas the CoCos and the Tandy 1000s and the IBMs use 0 to 100K. But with some modifications to the resistors on this, it could be adapted very easily for the color computer.
You probably find that on the Coco as well, the actual joystick pot values is not that critical.
It works as a voltage divider. It may work fine, but it's hard to say. It's depending on how it reads it. So it might work fine.
On the Coco, we've done 0 to 10K and it's performed well.
Right.
Yeah,
10Ks,
exactly.
The 10Ks pull a little bit more power, but when they go to 0, then, well, yeah, I guess it wouldn't matter.
All right, you've showed us that thing, but how would you actually hook one up? It would be the DIN out to...
It's, in this case, it uses a DE9, but basically you would either change the output to a pin header, or you just have an adapter cable that goes from a DE9 to a DIN plug.
Okay.
And then the
I got you.
NES hooks into that, and instead it's just 2 at XY variable resistors and a bunch of buttons. So
it's powered by the power coming to the cable?
It's powered by the Apple, yeah. So
okay. I don't have an Apple for power, so
it might require an external adapter. It's hard to say. It depends. Okay. I think the joysticks have a little bit of power, but not a lot. It's like 100 milliamps.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Or 50 per each. So it might be able to be powered. I don't know how much power the microcontroller pulls. It's a PIC 18F14F22, I think, K22. So.
I'm pretty sure the joystick ports on the Coco, at least on the Coco 1, I haven't looked at the schematics for the others. The top rail of the divider is basically just straight off the 5-volt rail. So you should be able to run a reasonable amount of current from it, depending on the series resistor.
It's very limited. It's like 50 milliamps. It's not very much, but modern microcontrollers don't take much. So it's hard to say. It might be able to be powered from the joystick port, it might not. So anyway, this is something that I've been talking with the guy, and we've been talking about, a version for the Coco. So he's looking at redesign.
What kind of cost is it?
Good question. This particular one is right around $40. It's on a microcontroller. He has to hand assemble them. And these, believe it or not, these Super NES connectors are not cheap. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Right. So I'm not surprised.
Oh, he's also working on a PlayStation 3 version too for the Apple. Yeah.
Cool. Does anybody else have any acquisitions or product updates they want to share?
I got a question about the PlayStation. I know it's not Coco related, but I see them at Goodwill and stuff, and aren't they just like a computer basically? I mean, they don't have no keyboard though, do they?
PlayStation was a video game system.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't think there was any sort of computer.
It's made by Microsoft, isn't it?
They're all basic computers. I mean, they have microprocessors. All the development's done on microcomputers.
Yeah, but they don't have a keyboard you can plug in.
You couldn't turn it into a computer like you could, like the Coleco Atom or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. just a straight console.
Well, theoretically, theoretically you could. If you could, the problem is the inputs are usually limited to controllers, which only have 6 or 8, 10 different things. But if you had a way you could encode the data, rewrite the ROM basically, or the code so it could read it, you could theoretically hook up a PS2 keyboard.
Well, I seem to recall they got Linux running on it. I think that's the goal, is get Linux running on every console, and I think that was one of them that they got Linux running on.
Trying to think, I think the PlayStations were running on a PowerPC chip, if I remember right. So theoretically you could put Mac OS on it.
So the Xbox is similar, right? It's fast PC and
Doesn't the Xbox actually kind of run Windows?
Yeah, it's a dedicated sort of
might be
version of it, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, could be, or it doesn't have to be. It just has to be compatible.
Okay. Yeah, I have no clue on the newer stuff. I never was a gamer anyway, so I just know.
Yeah, I wasn't really either. I was more into, still am more into programming and doing my own things with it.
So we've had basically 127, 128, 129, and 130.
127A, 127B, 127B2.
Yeah. Good. When Stevie comes back, we'll have to tell him, yeah, we're at episode 200. What? What do you mean?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, news with L. Curtis Boyle.
So Jim Gary has. You guys have to let me know how loud the audio is on this too.
Not too bad.
Fine.
Your audio is fine.
No, I meant Jim Gary's, because sometimes he pops music and stuff in the background.
Oh, the video audio.
Is that too loud for me to talk over? Or?
No.
Okay.
No, it's pretty good at the moment.
So Jim has been busy as usual, doing Avalon Hill ports this week. Avalon Hill, of course, was a company that actually manufactured a lot of strategy games even before the computer stuff started in the 60s and 70s, and then it got into computer games in the 80s, including Coco stuff. So this is a port of Galaxy. And I think he posted on Facebook too. He's wondering if anybody wants to get a copy made for the Coco specifically, as opposed to the MC10. Now this one obviously is using some non-standard sound for the MC10. That's not your normal sound beeps and stuff there too. So it must have sort of ML driver or something going. But Galaxy's kind of a strategy space game, as you can see on the screen there.
Sounds like he's got the double speed poke working.
Except the MC10 doesn't have one.
I know.
And then the second port he did is Nuclear War, which is also an Avalon Hill port. And this one looks a little bit more. It looks a little more basic because it doesn't keep the screen on, like the map on screen. It just kind of scrolls off and then redraws. It's almost like one of those old basic games. Like I think Brian Weisler posted, he picked up a couple of the basic game books back from the late 70s that Creative Computing, I think, put up. And this is the type of stuff they had because they couldn't guarantee that whatever 8-bit they were porting to had control of the screen to do a CLS or a print at or a locate. So they just did stuff that scrolled off to make it generic.
Assumed like a terminal rather than...
Yeah, pretty much. A very primitive terminal.
Yeah.
Because even the terminals back then used to have cursor codes and stuff, so... But yeah, he's been porting a couple of these Avalon Hill games, and some of these... I mean, Avalon Hill did do official Coco ports, but they didn't port everything over. They ported maybe 8 to 10 or something, so... It's kind of interesting having him porting the rest of them. We'll eventually get the entire Avalon Hill catalog. And this here is an update from Paul Thayer. We kind of demonstrated before that he was doing the 64 colors on the screen at once as a palette setting utility that you can actually pick with the mouse. And he's actually got that working now. So he's doing some software timing tricks there to be able to do all 64 colors simultaneously up there. And you can actually move the cursor between where all those interrupts are going off to get the colors going, and then he's got the actual colors you've got selected at the bottom, and that's your palette you're setting your 16 for your current game or whatever you're doing. And then he's also got the ability to read what the RGB values are up at the top there, and you can go manually mix them as well, and it gives you the decimal and the hex and the binary versions of them. So it's pretty cool that he's got this actually working smoothly, and pretty cool that it's got, you know, all these nice little utility bits, you know, giving you the different conversions. So you can use these in BASIC, you can use these in machine language program, whatever you want. And it's part of a generalized editor he's doing with some other stuff. He'll be doing tile editors and sprite editors and stuff too, but this is just the color picking portion of it.
I'd like to add something to this. Paul, a couple of weeks ago, he was asking about a better mouse for doing this sort of stuff. And so I sent him one of David Ladd's mouse adapters and got some feedback from this morning on it. He says he really likes it.
I know one other bit of feedback too is that he was trying to get Nick and Sockmaster's software high-res mouse to work on it. But that actually has to shut interrupts off for a fair bit of time to do the sampling, because you have to like read capacitors as they're bleeding off and stuff, you know, in real time. And it apparently was too slow. It would actually screw up the changing the palettes on the fly on the screen to Gato 64. So he couldn't use it, unfortunately, because it was causing distortions and sparklies and all kinds of stuff. So
exceeding the batch window.
Yep. Which is unfortunate, because that would have been cool too, but
maybe there's a possibility for a hardware adapter.
Oh, definitely. Okay, this one here, Todd Wallace, also known as Lord Dragon in Discord. He's been doing his Coco Disk utility, the one that can switch between OS9 and RS-DOS at will. And he decided to add some color to it. So,
film a CRT with a smartphone.
Just skip ahead a little bit so you can actually see it. But basically, just describing what his goal was.
So, we've all seen this before. So, in drive 0 is just RS-DOS disk. So, the regular DI.
Somebody's got the mic way too close to their mouth.
I think we're all familiar with. There you go. That's all my own custom thing. But if you want something different.
His voice is kind of low.
Color.
That's better.
It is color computer after all.
Anyway, I know we've got a utility ls, you know, a port of the Unix directory style command on OS9 that actually has the option for doing color for headers and, you know, different attributes and stuff like that. It each gets their own color going across too. So it's kind of similar, but it's kind of cool seeing it on an RS-DOS side of things. So his disk utility is coming along really well. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's something like we've got some disk utilities by Paul Fiscarelli and others too that are, you know, running on a hosted, you know, modern PC to access disk images and stuff and view them, etc. This one actually will run natively on the real hardware and lets you go between OS9 and basic disks, and eventually not just being able to directory them so you can see, you know, what disk did I just put in here, what version is, what operating system is it. But I'm hoping you'll actually get to the point where you can start copying files back and forth. So if you want to transfer files that you want to port between the two operating systems, you should be able to do that. So,
or adjust the file type modes might be nice too.
Yeah. Rename the disk if it's an OS9 disk, all kinds of things. You get the geometry to see what size of a disk it was. So he's been doing a lot of progress. He's been asking like tons of questions over the last couple of months about all kinds of assembly language stuff as he was going through it and learning it all. But he's coming along pretty good now. So looking forward to see how much further he takes it. This here is a video on YouTube I stumbled across. It's 3OTD, which is 3 old tech dudes, which kind of sounds like, you know, any 3 members of our panel. But one of the members of this trio, Nathan, explains why he got a Coco 2, picked it up recently, and he uses Audio Spectrum Analyzer, and he talks about the experience they had with it. And the 2 other guys, one of the other ones remembers them being in schools, and their school had a bunch of the Coco 2s as well. I won't play the whole thing, obviously, because it's like, you know, half an hour, but so there's your 3 guys.
It's a trash 80 Coco.
It is the
it is not
Color Computer 2 from TRS.
Yeah, he actually does correct him a little bit later on.
That's
the first computer I ever used in my life.
Do you know what TRS-80 stands for? It's actually 2 bits of something.
I figured Tandy's the first letter.
Tandy Radio Shack, and then the
okay.
original processor, not in this, but the original TRS-80, was the Z80 processor.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where the stream cut off, though, if we even got that far before everybody else lost it. So this is going to be one heck of a choppy episode.
Fix it.
So I'm just gonna read all the news and stuck auto and that's how it's gonna go.
It's emulation of it.
Yeah, that's my emulation of the stream.
Next weekend, let's try dial up.
300 baud, baby.
There you go.
It'll work.
You tell them that.
Anyway, to pick up where we left off, the 3 old dudes, the guy who's holding the cartridge here is the guy that, he grew up with the Coco. One of the other guys had mentioned that this is the first computer he used to go. He's a bit younger, so he didn't have one at home. So they go through, and he was trying to figure out. Now, unfortunately, at the time that he made the video, he hadn't found his cassette cable. He has one, but he couldn't find it to actually put any audio into it. So he runs the cartridge.
You can only see that. So if you went into it, I'm trying to remember how to get into it. So
and of course, the bars are.
There's the year.
No, because it was not the interface. But it actually had the spectrum analyzer here, so it actually.
Yeah. So of course, not having actual audio input going into it, it's kind of not a very good demo. And he was trying to figure out the kaleidoscope, and when he he did accidentally figure it out, but of course the screen just goes black because there's no audio. So it was kind of a horrible time to try to demo that. So
pressed K
and then
without any audio going in.
He found a video of it on YouTube and shared that with some of the different modes and stuff too. So he did eventually get to demo it, how it works. But they go through and they talk about it, and they want to do some more stuff with it. And a couple of the other people on the panel there said they want to get one too, and they plan to do some more Coco related videos with it. So I subscribe to their channel. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on them if they have anything really interesting. I've also reached out to them too, to come by and check our show and maybe join us on the show, or we can join them and help them kind of catch up on where the Coco is these days.
We'll wait till they find out we have an SDC.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to get them caught up on. So and this you guys remember from last year, John Day was working on doing a modern retake of Temple of Rom called Return to Rom, which is fully 3D. And we haven't heard anything on this for quite a while, but that's, I guess, his work schedule is that the previous couple of seasons is his busiest time, so he hasn't had any time to do it. And he's going to start getting back into it over the winter here. And he did get some updates done here, so I won't play the whole thing. In fact, I'll skip ahead just to get to where the graphics of the actual gameplay kind of get into it here. That's kind of more of the demo stuff. He's got like different color schemes and
Ignore the spider.
You guys getting the audio okay?
Yeah, a little bit quiet. But
here, you're the main character. Lenses are booting up. There goes my spider that I'm just messing around with some artificial intelligence there, pathfinding. Now you're in her glasses. You're looking through Coco's glasses. Her name is Coco. All right, and your friend is Radio.
I was hoping Rick was going to still be on here to see what his reaction to this update was.
On the spaceship, and you can read this by pausing or whatever. I'm not going to read it all. And this isn't the original. This isn't going to be the final narration, obviously. We'll develop the story.
Anyway, I'll skip ahead to the.
But for now,
a bit more of the gameplay part of it.
So now here you are. Now the spider's down there, but he will go wherever I shoot at. So if I shoot this wall, and this is all based on the original map, but as you can tell, there's different levels now. So I broke the map up into 9 sections, which is the same thing that the original developer did. And oh, and also we have you can charge your weapon, which is a little different than the original game. Makes a mega blast.
Kind of like what Nick's done on Gatecrasher.
Send him there to clean it up.
Or it's not Gatecrasher on.
All right, here's the items
his new game
in the game.
Not released yet. Gunstar.
Gunstar.
Again, this is all based on the original.
I was going to say Funstar. I couldn't remember the real name.
That's Nick Marionette's version.
Yeah.
How many of these little plus items we've gotten? How many rings? And this one's been an X. And then as you get these done, this is area. Well, it's A, B, C, D, E. This is area E. Once you get these items, then this level will come down, and now we can go enter into area F. And you can see there's other areas way out there in the distance.
So that's an interesting take on it too. Is that, I mean, he's duplicating the original maps, but when you start, parts of the map you can't access because they're in different levels, and once you collect enough things to get to that other part, then the floor lowers down, and you can actually get into that level. So he's added some new game mechanics to it to take advantage of the 3D world he's doing in it, which I thought was pretty cool. He's not just taking and updating from modern graphics. He's actually adding, while still keeping the original, basic part of the game the same, including the maps.
Cool.
There's some of the different color schemes you get in different areas too. So anyway, it's a pretty good video. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's like 9 minutes long, but it's good to hear that he's back onto it. I kind of almost forgotten about it, to be honest, because I hadn't heard in a while. But I know he's been talking with Rick about it. Like I said, Rick was on here briefly earlier on the call, but I was hoping he was going to be on when we got to this. I was going to see what he thought of some of the changes he's been doing to the game engine. And I know, isn't Rick, he's doing a Temple of Rom 2 for the Coco 3 too, isn't he? That he's been working on. So it'd be interesting to see what two different directions he's take. And this one here, this is Graph Express. Now, there's been lots of talk. I mean, Rob Inman's been talking about it, and I've been talking about it with Basic 9 about trying to make basic games run faster and do more machine language type speeds and stuff. And there's a few ways to do that. There's basic compilers like C Basic and ML Basic. Basic 9 itself is a semi-compiler. We've sped up some of the graphics parts of Nitrous 9 to get a bit more speed. Still not quite full machine language speed, obviously, but this was another one that was available from Sundog Systems back in 1991-92, called Graph Express by Jeff Steidel, who did Photon and finished off the Contras game. So it supports like windowing and clipping and sprites and multi-voice music. And I know Paul Thayer had fiddled with it a little bit. It's not as fast as PureML, obviously enough. It's basically an add-on to Basic that you do text strings, and you send all your parameters through text strings to it. Now, the problem is that takes some string space. So as Paul found out, your basic programs can't be as big as they could be normally because a lot of the stuff gets taken up by the string space to create all these commands. So he was going to try it for, I think, his next game project, and he ended up having to change over to straight ML because he just didn't have room. But, I mean, if you're doing a simpler game or not one with huge levels or anything, or if you have a level that you load at a time off disk, I think you could do something. Now, I don't know how many people here have actually seen Graph Express in action before. So this is a little 3-minute demo, and this is the standard 16-color 3-minute demo part of it. This also had the 256-color composite mode, and there's a demo version of that that's not in this video. And I know there's some discussion on Facebook, because the 256-color mode, I mean, it's been rediscovered several times by different people. Like John Linville rediscovered it, I think, about 10 years ago, and then some other people rediscovered it again lately. But basically, it's not a real mode. It's just that in composite, you get those artifact colors. Even on a 16-color screen, you do. So in this case, if you put your pixels in the right spots with the right colors, you can actually get close to 256 unique colors. And Sockmaster's High Color takes that to another extent, where he actually is changing the palette. So he's got all 64 normal colors on the screen at once, but then he's changing them constantly every scan line. And that's the high color that Ron uses a lot to do his high color pictures. So a bunch of these techniques for doing it. But this is just to show you what the engine's capable of doing. So any of you basic programmers out there that want to experiment with trying to write an arcade style game, or maybe a more advanced windowing style game that requires the windowing style, things kind of like Nitrous 9 does, but in regular disk basic, this video is a good demo of it. I think Bill Pierce is the one who actually videoed this to put it on. Let's fast forward a bit here. The other reason I don't think this got used too much either is that it looked like you had to get licensing fees to do anything with it at the time when it was being sold. So most people didn't want to bother dealing with all that. Talking to Glenn Dahlgren years and years later, he kind of said, no, actually, we're going to let people just use it. You just had to acknowledge that you were using our engine type thing. And if you're doing something huge, maybe we'll ask for a very small percentage. So I wish that had been more clear in the ads, because most of us just figured, well, I'm going to have to give away most of my profits on this, so I'm not going to bother. Let's get past the loading part. So there's his multi-voice musical background from BASIC, just on a string, with the multi-voice play command.
We all got to have our bouncing ball.
Sounds pretty good.
Now here he gets more advanced though, because now he's doing an animated window over top of a bouncing ball window with clipping and everything working. This is what the level 2 version 3 upgrade by Kevin Darling, etc. did too.
Yeah, I don't hear you guys laughing now.
So Window Master had some of the same capability too from CirComp, but it wasn't meant to be arcade. It was meant more as a windowing system. So this has got more of the sprites and.
How many sprites?
Sounds endless.
Sound like an old tape delay.
And now we get to our native resident cyborg, Ed Snyder, who's been busy dreaming up new projects. So obviously everybody here is familiar with the new keyboards he's making. In fact, some of you actually have them in your possession. Like
I got one right beside me.
So he's been toying with doing some cases to make these external keyboards. And he's got some schematics, and then he's got his actual first kind of prototype-y thing version of it. I think, yeah, like that. And that's a really good idea, because then you can kind of like lean back. You can leave the Coco up on the desk and kind of lean back. We used a lot of keyboard extender cables back in the day. I remember we had. But then I got to thinking, I asked him some questions too. Like, I mean, if you're actually going to move it outside of the case, then you don't have to limit yourself to just the keys that the Coco 3 keyboard had. The Matrix is kind of set up to have 57 keys, but there's some duplicate keys. Like one thing that Nick Marentes and I have always talked about is that the Coco 1 and 2 games kind of were designed with the arrow keys, with the left up and down being on the far left where Alt Control is now, and then left and right is roughly where it is on the current Coco 3 keyboard. And the diamond works good if you're like editing text and stuff, but it kind of sucks for games because you got to try to do everything with one hand with your fingers all contorted together. And if you make a wider case for a keyboard, then you can extend the keyboard. You can add a second set of the keys. They just duplicate the same keys when you press them, so either one works. And I thought, well, why not take it past that? You could actually put a numeric keypad on the far right too, if you're doing programming or anything else where you have to like punch in hex numbers or whatever, or do math. So this actually has a lot of places you could extend it to. And I know some people like my post on that, so maybe some other people are interested in that as well. I have no idea what that would cost and how big it would be, but it almost looked like a Model 3 or Model 4 keyboard, I think, by the time you're done. Except color-coded properly for the Coco.
That would work really well in my Model 4 Coco 1 upgrade transplant project as well, because it could probably almost fit straight in the case.
Yeah. And I think he had some other...
On Facebook, John Sinet is asking, is that a working keyboard?
I believe so. This is an actual physical, real keyboard here. This is not a mock-up anymore. He said he had to do some sanding here because it's a little bit rough from the printing of the case, but it's basically using his current keyboard. It's just into an external case. He's just designing the external case, which actually has a little bit of a rib on the bottom on the back, so the keyboard actually tilts towards you a little bit too. I'm definitely interested in that too. If he makes a wider version of it with the numeric keypad and the arrow keys duplicated so that the old games play better, I might consider getting that instead of the actual keyboard that he's currently selling. Assuming
Did
cost
you've seen his latest project? I guess you got that in news as well, have you? The I won't mention too much if you've already got it in there. Or
yeah, the one I think that you had mentioned in the chat or the Discord.
Yep.
Yeah, that's coming up too.
Yeah.
And our very own Ron came up with a nice little logo mock, or kind of a mock-up of a magazine cover for the 40th anniversary of the Coco. I think Alan Huffman mentioned it looks similar to the Color Computer Magazine logo style-wise. Was that your inspiration for it, Ron, or did you just...
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I thought it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, out of the magazines we had, I mean, in our heyday, we had like 5 or 6 Coco-only devoted magazines, like mid-1983. I think Color Computer Magazine probably looked the slickest. It actually looked better and more professional than Rainbow did in my eyes. It wasn't as big.
I agree.
Or as thick, but Hot Cocoa looked a bit more geeky. Color Computer News definitely looked more geeky. Rainbow was kind of a mix in between. And then there was Color Microjournal and a few others too. So
Hot Cocoa looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more geeky though, because it was Wayne Green kind of did that one. So the guy who did 80 Micro and Kill the Bod microcomputing before that, he did some ham radio magazines in the 60s too.
Well, primarily I did this with a white background in case we wanted to print this for the show next year. It's would go in a white card, nice.
Yeah, it's actually cool because we're getting competing designs now. Because I know you've got one.
Yeah.
Bruce Moore's got one. I think there was a third one floating around earlier too. So it's nice that everybody's actually contributing. And I wouldn't mind seeing a mixture of them all. Like you could have T-shirts with all 3 of them or something. Because
I'll do a
40th
couple
anniversary
more later.
Yeah.
The only thing I see missing is a little registered trademark on next to Radio Shack.
Oh, I suppose they're back now, right? We got to kind of make sure it's legal.
Yeah.
It's just tiny. You can't see it.
You need a scanning electron microscope to read it.
Yeah, exactly.
And here, Rob Inman knows a bit about this one. Chris Burke's kind of returned to the Coco fold again after he kind of came back a year or two ago for a little bit, and then he kind of disappeared again. But he's doing basically a SCART adapter that actually it doesn't need an external little box. It actually just fits right where the RGB connector on the bottom of the Coco 3 is. Now, his original prototype here requires a battery, and it does apparently burn through those pretty quick.
Yeah, the next page, you got rid of the battery.
Now, did he say how long was he tapping the power off the Coco? Because he was trying to do it without having to modify the Coco originally, but I didn't get a chance to fully read it. But
no, he went in and modified on pin 10 of the connector.
Mm-hmm.
That pin's actually connected to one of the PIA inputs. He modified the resistor to be able to send a little bit more juice out the ribbon cable, and so now he's tapping the power off of that.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, because that extra pin, that was supposedly to detect an RGB monitor being plugged in. Wasn't that the original purpose?
I think so. I don't know that anything ever used it.
No. Sorry, go ahead.
I saw this post on Facebook. I didn't go into it in a great amount of detail. What actually does this provide a better quality composite output, or is it for NTSC?
It takes the RGB output and then lets you put it into SCART basically, so you can use it with the SCART adapters.
SCART has a number of different protocols built into the one cable though. So I'm just wondering which protocol it's using.
Well, for the purpose of it, what he's doing is with that chip, he's taking the V vertical and horizontal sync, combining them together, so you don't have to tap it off the composite. So it's RGB only, but he does mention how you could feed RGB through the thing. But the point of the chip was to combine the syncs together, so that you don't have to, so you don't have to pull it off of the composite. It'd be useful if you wanted RGB only and then had some other way to show composite.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And this is one I believe you were referring to, David.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So he's been mocking up a circuit board for a Coco 2 Plus, and he wants to fit it into a little cube case. So it's going to have, a way to add in satellite boards to add an extra functionality. But basically, it's going to be a Coco 2, but with extra features such as VGA support built right onto it, 2x overclocking, which is that SAM thing that Brendan actually showed us a demo of at Tandy Assembly earlier, where you can run the Coco 1 and 2 at full double speed RAM and ROM the entire time without screwing up your video. And then he kind of teases you with and maybe a couple of other things.
Yes, he says that. Yep.
And the other thing about it too, he's designing it all as through-hole, old school through-hole plated components, so he can release it as a kit and it can be built up.
I asked him if he did that with a program or did he hand do it, and he says he did it. He had to think through it and do it by hand.
There's a lot of work involved in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look
that's
at
good.
how complicated it is.
Somebody mentioned in the comments too, down the bottom, the connector down the bottom looks like a Jeep grill. In the bottom left corner. Get the two headlights and the grill. And
Yeah.
Curtis, is this something we could build?
Yeah, if you release it as a kit, you'll basically get the circuit board, and I'm assuming sockets, etc., and you just solder them all together yourself, and you plop in the chips because it's just using like 6809, 6309, and the PIAs and the ROM, which, of course, if you want, you can burn your own custom one too, and the VDG, etc. So, SAM.
I saw on eBay somebody was actually selling kits that were just the chips for the Coco.
Yes,
the bigger chips.
Yeah. Yep. I saw that too. I've got it bookmarked. Or whatever you call it in eBay land on my watch list.
I mean, that's a cool project. I mean, the fact that he's going to have a way to duplicate the entire Coco 2 motherboard with a modern board, so we don't have to worry about boards going bad from age. But also adding some new features like VGA output support, etc. Full double speed mode. It'll be like a Coco 2 Plus, like he's labeled it on the thing, kind of like the Coco 3 Plus he's planning for the further in the future. But it'll be a way for Coco 2 owners to have a really substantial upgrade if he works with Brendan on incorporating the Coco VJ with all of its extra features at the same time. Then it's a real Coco 2 Plus. You could almost call it a Coco 3.
I actually ordered one of those chip kit things from China, and it comes with actually both two processors, both the Motorola and the Hitachi, and a couple of 6821s and another chip, I'm not sure which. And then it does have the Salt as well as the 6847.
You have to tell us what's on the EEPROM.
Yeah, I don't know if it's programmed. I should probably dump it and see what's on it, but it does have, it has the Salt chip too. So it's like it got most everything you need.
That'd be a good repair kit.
Yep, I think they're selling them for. There's
Yep.
What is the price are they charging? Like, is it reasonable or is it way out there?
They're asking $18 and free shipping.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Actually, make them an offer and you might get it for a little less.
I mean, lately we've been seeing like color mice going for $750 or something. So that's pretty cool. apparently that metal ball is made of gold underneath.
Evidently.
So you have to tell us if they're genuine chips or reproductions.
It's unobtainium.
I haven't tried testing them yet, so
your risk may vary.
Yep. I'll have to probably take my Coco 1 and strip everything out of it and put these all in and see what it does.
Hope it doesn't get banged.
And the last bit of news I got here is actually from Matchy, who's the guy who did the little combat style game that used the sound chip and stuff too, and he's done a couple other demos, like a little 3D racing semi-graphics demo. So what he was doing here is he's doing Coco semi-graphics modes, and he goes right from the lower modes to the higher modes from what I can tell in the video. But he's actually doing real 3D calculations like raycasting like we saw in that Model 1 demo at Tandy Assembly. So he's kind of doing the same thing. He said this is his first shot at it. I don't know if he was in the chat earlier, but with all the drop-offs we had, I don't know if he's still there. So this is in the lowest of the modes, but you can actually see it's actually scaling and you're shifting your point of view and actually watching the further away stuff shift at a different speed like you would in real life. and then rotations and stuff too.
That's pretty cool.
At that low of a res, it's not super impressive, but he actually starts using some of the higher semi-graphics modes a little bit later too. And of course, because of semi-graphics, you have a lot more control over the colors than say P mode 3 or 4, so you can actually get a quite colorful game or engine.
So this music is generated outside the Coco?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I was just going to say that's pretty impressive for a Coco.
There he's got some scaling, and now he's starting to see, you can see that the vertical height of the lines is getting a lot smaller. So now he's using the higher semi-graphics modes, which is why it's slowing down, because now your screen went from being half a K to 3K or 6K, or depending on the mode he's using. And then depending how complex your shapes get, obviously the calculations start getting more and more robust.
Looks like a good place for a math coprocessor.
6 or 9 might help too. I still want to try to encourage more people. Yeah, I still want to encourage more people with Coco 1s and 2s, Dragons, TDPs, just to get 6 or 9 upgrades. I think if we get enough critical mass, maybe some people will start writing games on them, and 2, people might be encouraged to go back to some of the old games and see if they can patch them. Because some of them actually wouldn't require a huge patch to get a decent speed up. I might fiddle with that myself once work dies down in a couple weeks. Especially if Nitrous 9's drive me nuts that particular day, then I might take a side distraction and do something just basic.
Pretty complex.
Yeah, it's like a full donut shape type thing. I'm assuming at this point he's running on a Coco 1 2, so he's probably only running at 0.895 megahertz too. So I mean, if you threw it into a Coco 3, it might run, a bit faster. But makes a good screensaver too. I was hoping he was going to be in the chat still, because he could kind of give an explanation of exactly what we're looking at here. Because he has obviously had a bit more insight of what he's trying to display. But here's one with a bit solid shapes, it looks like almost.
This music's coming from the PSP?
I have no idea. But that might just be a soundtrack he picked in the background like Jim Gary does. Hey, right, as he mentioned though in Discord, this is his first shot at it, so I'm assuming he's planning to either A, add more features, or B, try to optimize it to run faster yet still. I also don't know if he's doing this in pure assembly, if he's using CMOC C or exactly what he's using to drive the engine there, but hopefully he'll keep us posted on updates. And that's all the news I have for today, so I will stop sharing.
Well done.
Cool.
Well, apparently there was an update to OBS, so I'm now up to version 24. Now the chat works. I've got it running on the screen here and it hasn't crashed since, so maybe that's all that was wrong, is it just needed an update.
I cannot pin CoCoTALK in Zoom for some reason. Won't let me.
Well, let's see. That was everything on my show notes.
Is anybody else able to pin?
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah, it's probably it's almost coming up in 3 hours. It's a good length.
Yeah, and I mean, Tandy Assembly is doing live streaming from the seminar room. So if you guys, you just can't get enough retro today, I mean, just to head over to the Tandy Assembly page on YouTube, and they've actually got live streams going of the seminars as they go throughout the day. And I'm assuming they're probably doing the same tomorrow because the show's still on tomorrow as well. So
let's do the closing credits, and then we'll do some final thoughts.
Okay.
This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy color computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at CoCoTALK.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTALK@CoCoTALK.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
Consider supporting the show with a purchase of merchandise from our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, click the Patreon link at our website at CoCoTALK.live.
CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world, keeping the Tandy flame alive. We may be mocked, but we'll never stop, 'cause CoCoTALK is rocking the 8-bit world.
CoCoTALK would not exist without the community, its cast, crew, and contributors. Thanks go to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Ron Delvaux, Rick Adams, Jason Reichert, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Tom C., Rob Inman, Mark Bosley, Brian Joyce, Ken Reichert, David O'Connor, Brian Weasler, Terry Steggy, Nick Marotta, John Strong, and many more, especially to Steve Bjork for production suggestions and James Differendaffer for making my head explode. Please help support the CoCo community by visiting some of its various contributors. A list of resources is available at imacoconut.com. That's IMACOCONUT.com. The CoCoTALK theme song is copyright 2008 by D. Bruce Moore and Greg Sheeler. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore.
Wasn't our smoothest show, but
hey, we got we got an unscheduled test of a backup of a backup streamer. So yeah, interesting days. Okay.
Well,
anybody else got any thoughts?
We didn't have a hand or Coco thoughts today, huh?
No, I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I don't know if Ken's made any more. Has he?
Who makes them?
Ken Reichert.
Ken Reichert.
Is that who does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The marketing genius behind
Samuel Gimes is who makes them.
Samuel Gimes, yes.
Yeah. I wondered about that.
Okay.
All right.
Let's stick a fork in this one.
Okay.
Hey, we'll be back next week, smoother than ever.
Promises.
Thanks to Coco Man for the coverage from Tandy Assembly. That was really awesome.
Absolutely.
We're going to run the feed through this baby next time.
Yeah, 300 baud with an MC10.
That's it. Get her done.
It won't crash.